These scenes are part of a series of trips that Anne, Amy, and I took beginning in the summer of 1987. Our first trip was to Ireland, England, and Scotland. We hope you enjoy them. We're on a tour of the Ring of Kerry. We left Killarney, small town in Western Ireland, a few moments ago on a tour bus, left the car at the Great Southern Hotel. And this is one of the rivers, or the river, that drains the famous lakes in the Killarney region, also well known for salmon fishing. This is Dingle Bay, an arm of the Atlantic Ocean. Across from us directly is the Dingle Peninsula. It's a beach on the west coast of Ireland, again part of the Ring of Kerry. I think we may see some familiar people down here. The bus stopped in this little town called Sneem, a group, and found this little bridge with a stream. Why don't you just introduce yourself?
Good morning, I'm Mary Martin.
Okay.
Your
Just
last Irish host. Enjoy the guest.
Fine, you do that. A bed and breakfast near here. And we appear to be some of the first people in the park this morning. The grounds surrounding the castle consist of a couple of 100 acres. Good morning, girls. Any comments on the trip thus far? I think we can see the blue sky in the background.
Oh no.
Where else you care about?
No.
Who's first?
Go ahead.
Remember when you want to film here in a second?
Hate.
Dark so.
Oh,
Grab on the pipes. Way down.
How do you know what to look for?
I think it's a picture.
I wouldn't do that thing in a million years.
Oh, go ahead. You only break her back.
Just don't hit your head, Dan.
The car is loading and the bow of the ship is raised. Very good. And across the way to our right is the Church of St. Martin in the Fields, just there. Roman Catholic Cathedral in London. We just went to the 6 o'clock Mass there.
Oh Lord, I pray for you.
And now we're going to McDonald's.
And I concluded that the British would continue to do this even at 2 in the morning if no one showed up.
What we just saw was the changing of the guard at Horse Guards Parade, and we're now in St. James Park looking out at Duck Island and the lake. We're going to walk down toward Buckingham Palace and catch part of the guard ceremony there and then go over to Westminster Abbey. Good morning, Amy.
Hello.
Is Ann there?
Yeah, she's beside
Step
you there.
over there, Ann. Good morning, Ann.
Alors que ça mon argent. Non, mais j'ai pas appris. Alors ça
You're smiling enough. You're kind of grimacing, so fix smile.
See, we've gone upscale from the sandwiches on the train coming from to Edinburgh. And that's Amy wearing her Ireland shirt. You have anything to say, Anne? Or are you still struggling with your role? Okay. Train's average speed is close to 100 miles an hour between stations. The trip to Edinburgh is taking us 4 hours and 50 minutes to travel just over 400 miles, and there are several stops along the way.
What? Something landed in their couch.
This is the neighboring house, which was once part of a large manor house. The road, which you'll readily see, was built for horses and carriages and runs about 2 miles out toward the road connecting us with Edinburgh. Walls all the way along, and you must drive very slowly. There's hardly room for 2 cars to pass. This is the house that we're staying at with Mr. and Mrs. Cupick, Angus Cupick. Mrs. Cupick is the president of the Southern Scotland Goat Society. Just interesting information. The main entrance to Holyrood Palace, the Queen's official residence in Scotland.
If you look for Mary Queen of Scots coat of arms, you'll see the lioness for street claws. The 2 cats you see here, they're known as mullets. It's a Scottish winter wildcat. It's part of Regent Lorcan's coat of arms, who designed and built the tower.
This is still an active military post. Looking out at the Firth of Forth with the city of Edinburgh below. Still, of course, here at Edinburgh Castle. We're on the grounds of Melrose Abbey, about 30 miles south of Edinburgh. We left there this morning and are going to be visiting Abbotsford, the home of Sir Walter Scott. From there we'll go on south to Carlisle. The River Tweed lies just beyond the wall directly in front of me, and it was overlooking this river in the dining room that Sir Walter Scott died in 1832. His bed was brought down so he could view his beloved River Tweed before his death. It's rather windy and cool up here today, about 50 degrees. The road between the stone fences over here to the right is the road to Ambleside at the north end of Lake Windermere. The sun comes out in spurts today. But it's just absolutely beautiful countryside. Very desolate, wild country. And lots of sheep all over the place. And very cloudy and misty between Hawes and Thirsk. And this is the area of what is called the Butter Tubs. Now just looking directly out, and I'm going to reverse, you really can't see much of anything until you lower your eyes down, and then you can see why they call them the Butter Tubs. Here we have water just falling. I hope Amy stays reasonably back from the edge. Quite a ways down. This is called Craig's Farm. It's a house just on the western edge of the Yorkshire Dale country. This farmhouse was built in 1661. It doesn't look like much on the outside, other than to say that it looks like a lot of the other farmhouses in the area for the American eye, but it's beautifully redecorated on the inside. The hills are dotted with sheep and cattle, and the roads speak for themselves. A large parking area, Market Square. Parked our car right down front. There it is. And of course today is election day, the 11th of June. We're going to be crossing over toward Bolton Castle. And of course, at some risk to life and limb, as you can readily see. So far our left-hand driving is doing pretty well. Okay, stop. I don't know if you could see the sheep or not, but you have to go rather slow on these roads because the sheep cross at a slightest whim. Great urge to keep to the roads in these locations, I see. I think this guy's either jogging or chasing sheep. There was actually a whole flock of sheep just ahead of us here. There's the flock. Did you get them, Amy?
Yeah.
Time, even Ann. Smile, Ann. What'd you have for lunch? Vegetable soup. Friday, June 12th. The pictures you saw previously were those inside York Minster Cathedral where we attended evensong. This morning, I'm standing outside the home of Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Robinson, just south of York. This home was built about 5 years ago. It's certainly the most modern that we've stayed in. The Robinsons are a couple in their late 20s, have 2 children, and this is situated in the middle of about a 450-acre farm. We've now stopped near the village of Stockton, about 10 miles to the east of Stratford. Stockton is located on one of the canals, and these are the canals that they use the small almost houseboat-like barges on to ferry goods and around the countryside of the Midlands and the southern part of England. People still live on the boats. You can see part of the locks there, and I'll swing to the left to see several of the boats are lined up along the waterway. This is Shakespeare's birthplace on Henley Street. Looking now at the main part of the castle, what I would call the house, I guess, and toward the Great Hall. This is after climbing all the way to the top of this thing, which is up where the flagpole is up here, where we get this panoramic view, I suppose the worst news was this sign. This is the Victorian Rose Garden here at Warwick Castle. Those are the two roses down there.
I heard that.
Back here to the pump room where we started, and that's where water used to be literally pumped up. It now comes up under its own pressure, and that you drank 3 glasses of, not all at once. You took time, listened to the music. Music still playing. The first public orchestra in England, or lineal descendant of it.
Roughly translated, this Greek means water is best. It's over the pump room above the old Roman baths in the city of Bath. A mile from Stonehenge, which you'll see on the left of the road that goes just off to the right, and I'm going to zoom in on it now and then we'll drive up to that location. This is number 62 Worcester Road in Malvern, the home of Malcolm and Linda Alexander and their 2 children, Alistair and Elizabeth. This is simply a view up the road toward Malvern. We'll go around and take an exterior shot of the back of the house. Very spacious old home.
Wait, no.
it's late December. Parts of the cathedral before it's like the old little refectory for the closest to the monastery, i.e. where all the monks came ate. Quiet here because part of the exams taking place.
We were in England several weeks ahead of the Queen's birthday parade in 1987, and we thought these scenes from an earlier tape would show you some of the majesty and ceremony of that event.
Guards, led by the 1st and 2nd Divisions of the Sovereign's Escort, found by the Life Guards, the music provided by the massed mounted bands of the Life Guards and the Blues and Royals. Behind the Queen, 3 royal princes, Prince Philip, Colonel of the Grenadier Guards in the centre, to his right the Prince of Wales, Colonel of the Welsh Guards, to his left the Colonel of the Scots Guards, the Duke of Kent, just back from China. Mounted bands in state dress. The Queen arrives on the parade ground. The crowd of 7,500 in the stands rise to their feet. Sovereign standard of the Life Guards with the trumpeter and the coverer join the escort. Queen wearing the star and ribbon of the Order of the Thistle, the Defence Medal, the War Medal, 3945, her grandfather's Jubilee Medal, her father's Coronation Medal, and the Canadian Forces Decoration. As she turns the corner towards Horse Guards Arch, watched from above by her mother, whom she will salute, and the clock strikes 11 o'clock. And in turn, the Queen is received with the first royal salute of the parade. Field Officer and Brigade Waiting, Colonel Ian Ferguson, Scots Guards, commands the parade. And to Songs of Scotia, arranged by Major Duncan Beat, Director of Music, Scots Guards, the inspection of the line begins. As Her Majesty the Queen is escorted by the Brigade Major and 4 troopers of the Life Guards past the mass bands. 2 years after the ending of the Second World War, on the 26th of August 1947, this slow march opened the military display which was given on alternate nights before a dark castle which couldn't be floodlit because of fuel rationing. Feeling ran high in Edinburgh, several citizens offered to give up their coal ration to make it famous Scottish regiments with the pipe bands of 5 Australian state police forces march on to the tune Caberfay. They are led by Drum Major Maxie MacDonald of the Royal Scots. Royal Scots, Britain's oldest regiment, first of foot, right of the line, conscious pilot's bodyguard. family of the Royal Highland Fusiliers, Fusilier Camp, and crews of Mackenzie Tower.
Another famous picture of your face, Anne? Okay.
Hello. Are you taking?
Sure.
The hospital just as we're leaving. One of his patients left.
He sees this, is she going to be incriminating evidence?
Dad! No!
He is. He's ball when it comes to social life. And how
Just such playing cards. Come on.
He did just play cards.
I got Alistair cheating.
You got cards there. Get those cards there. Yeah.
Please.
See?